Welcome back, Race Sports and Slams. We are at it again. It is episode number 25. Can you believe it? Time is flying. We're back. BoinkStudios.com is where you could find us. Please like, share, and subscribe to BoinkStudios.com. Is where you can find all the information. There it is, right there on this. All the media outlets, we are available. We're not behind a paywall. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. BoinkStudios.com is where you could find us. Before I bring out my guests, I want to say again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for starting my week with a happy smile. Mac is not here this week because he is at a Wemby hater convention in Houston. Actually, not. He's just in Houston for personal stuff. He will be back next week. But the other part of the trifecta is here. The man who still does not like Trae Young, Walter Duncan. What's up, sir?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here. Ray all day.
What's up? What's going on, sir? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And we have a special guest. He has been on the show before. He is the biggest St. John's fan I know. He is the biggest Knicks fan I know. He is the hottest DJ on the planet that I know. He is a personal friend of mine. He is my dude. He is the voice of Rod's Ball, the Knicks podcast. Mr. Don Q, what's up, sir?
Thank you for having me, Ray. Appreciate that nice introduction, Walter. Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you for showing up. It's good to see you. Even wearing that hat, I still will let that go. But it is good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming in. We have a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to get into. We're going to cover a little everything. I'm going around the corner from baseball to football to boxing, UFC. We got it all. So buckle up, get your popcorn. Let's get this party started. First topic of the day is Venezuela defeated the U.S. 3-2 in the WBC Classic. This was, I don't know if I would call this an upset, but I would call this a surprise. At the end of the day, you know, when you look at it, you know, they are, you know, it's their first ever World Classic title. They did it behind Eugenio's game-winning hit. They had the pitching. They had the hitting. At the end of the day, they bought the fire. They bought it. Venezuela deserved it. Kudos to them. You know, my big takeaway from this is, you know, Aaron Judge did what Aaron Judge does. He came up small again. Aaron Judge, you're asking, what did he do in the World Baseball Classic? He had a whopping .222 batting average, going 0 for 4 in the final game against Venezuela. Despite a strong start, when you really need Aaron Judge, he came up horse poo-poo. And kudos to Venezuela. They came, you know, Acuna was in tears celebrating. I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy they won. Disappointed for U.S. I was riding U.S. I wanted them to win this after they defeated DR. But, you know, some people are saying because of that pitch that was controversial, that it was a strike and was called a ball, that this is kind of a karma thing. I'm going to start with Walt. What is your overall take of the series, the game, and what do you think this means for baseball as a whole? Do you think they're going to start promoting more, you know, athletes to play in this game? Do you think that American baseball is becoming just a European sport now and we're kind of lost? Or like I said, what is your thought on this?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the Venezuelan team. Kudos to them for, you know, beating the U.S. Definitely wanted our boys to win, but, you know, the better team won. And look, maybe it has to do with karma. Maybe it just has to do with the U.S. players not bringing it. You know, U.S., you know, they played good enough to get there. You know, with a little bit of controversy and stuff like that. But, you know, again, kudos to Venezuela. Now, as far as the game itself, I think it broke records for viewership. So it was the most viewed game in the WBC to date. So that's good. And so if you get people watching, then of course, yeah, bring out the stars so they will want to watch it even more. The big name players should play in it. I think it's great for baseball. It gives it great attention because there were a couple of years where baseball was struggling really, you know, with viewership and, you know, getting fans to tune in anymore because people were describing it as boring. I think that is definitely something that's good for them. Um, I think that they should continue to expand it, maybe open it up to other countries. The U.S. is always going to be able to compete, I think, in this WBC series. So I don't think they're. I mean, but as other players get better, it's going to might be hard for the U.S. to get that title. But look, it is what it is, man. Kudos to Venezuela.
DQ, what you got, my friend?
So I think watching Venezuela, I saw nothing but fire and desire. I saw the USA team look like a bunch of entitled guys, MVPs, all-stars, put together a performance of 3 for 30. Aaron Judge contributed, like you said, all the strikeouts. Now he showed up like he typically does in the moment. Unfortunately, I'm a Yankee fan, and I was disappointed to see that. I wanted at least one hit from him, and we're not going to be able to see this, as you guys know, till 2030. So
Yes.
This is going to be sitting with us for a very, very long time. Now, the USA shouldn't have been there. Dominican team should have been there. We all know this. That was a ball. Granted, it shouldn't have gone over that way, like the team said. It shouldn't have came down to that. But if we're going to call a spade, that was a ball. And DR did beat Venezuela 7-5. So I think DR is the biggest disappointment. And United States, in my opinion, is the second disappointment. But Venezuela, man, come on. They played an excellent game. Pitching was solid. 4 innings of hitless pitching. I mean, those guys really showed up. And I love the fact that they cried and they showed emotion, and that was huge, man. We witnessed, magic, history right there. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy for them. PR is my team. Obviously, we didn't show up. We got beat by Italy, but hopefully, like you said, with the insurance issues that PR had, we couldn't bring all of the guys that we wanted to bring on board. Lindor, those guys. So, yeah, I don't want to make excuses, but the WBC and the MLB need to come to an agreement so that we can bring these stars, so we could get better competition.
All right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. My other question for the two of you is, do you see Americans finally waking up and saying, hey, we've got to start playing baseball again? Because right now it's a European sport. Europeans dominating baseball. The old school days of the Barry Larkins, the Barry Bonds, the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, those guys just don't exist anymore. Like right now, it's just like, when I think of baseball, I think of Lindor, I think of Tatis, I think of
Acuna.
I think of Acuna. It's just like every big star out there, Juan Soto, it's not what it was. I mean, there was a time, and you guys follow the game where, it was Larkin, like I said, Bonds, this guy, that guy. I think Mookie Betts is the only guy I could think of right now that's like a top American star other than Aaron Judge. You know what I mean? And obviously, I think Witt's going to be a legit player. I think Witt is really, really, really good. I mean, he's not there yet, but, his father was great. I think he's going to be great. But other than that, dude, and we have some pitching here and there, but
yeah,
like, is it becoming a thing where Americans don't find it sexy enough and they'd rather just play basketball? Or I'll let Don start this off. Like, what's going on that's preventing us from dominating the way we used to, years ago?
I think in the Latino culture, you see baseball as a way out. It's a way out of a way for you. You're looking at guys that potentially live down the street from you and are now multimillionaires. You could look at Vladimir Guerrero. When he was a kid, he didn't have money for a glove. So he used a cardboard box and he cut a thumb hole in it. That's how much he wanted it.
Wow.
Right now in the United States, I need a $150 glove, Dad. This guy, no, man. If you want it, you're going to play with the cardboard. It's not about the bling bling. I think, and that's what I think. I see more desire of people wanting to get out of those countries, come into the American dream instead of, just the American talent is there, but I don't know if the drive is there.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Walt, what do you think?
I agree with Don there. I think he hit the nail on the head. I think that it has something to do with the youth not being interested in the game anymore. And fun fact, DR produces per capita more major leaguers than any other nation, right? So I think it's because, like Don said, they're hungry for it, and they want to provide for their families because that's what they're thinking. Like, hey, if I make it, I'm gonna make it for myself and my family and those that I love, and they can, it's gonna be generational wealth for them and their families, right? So yeah, Don hit the nail on the head there.
So you're saying that because you think some Americans more feel like baseball is more like a luxury sport, something to just play, rather than mostly like I said, people from DR or Puerto Rico, it's a way out, in essence.
I kind of think so. Yeah, I kind of think so. And like you said, some of the other sports are more, faster moving, potentially more exciting. So maybe that has more of appeal to it to people right now. I mean, I look at my son's in high school right now, and he has a group of like 10 good friends.
Okay,
and none of them play baseball. None of them. One of them plays golf. The other one plays lacrosse, and the other one two of them play basketball. No baseball players. Now, if you look at me, I graduated in the 90s. 8 of my 10 friends were baseball players.
Likewise.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because when I was, your son's age, baseball was the thing. Like, everybody played baseball. It was like, in the summertime, let's go to the park, let's play. And, it was just a thing. Now it's just like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's not sexy anymore. Like, it's just not, I don't know. My question, Walt, and you could kick this off. Like, did the sport just become boring? It's not like hot. Yeah. It's not the hot, cool thing anymore. Like, what?
Yeah, that's it. Because it, it started off that was like, I think baseball was America's, America's game, right? That's why they coined it as that. And I think people just kind of went away from it because they're like, hey, it's boring. The 9 innings are too long. Not enough action because, I think that's what the kids want. The kids these days want to see, people show out. They want to see these high scoring games. They want to, they occur sometimes, but if you sit in there for 2 or 3 hours and you watch a game that's 3-2, some kids are going to be like, I'd rather go play soccer or basketball or football compared to baseball. And I think it's just people have to fall in love with the game and the beauty of it. And I think that's been lost. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Concur. Let me ask you this, Don, because you're a father. If your son had the ability to play both sports, knowing that baseball from a financial perspective is way more lucrative and way more safer, I think the guaranteed money's better. I believe that the contracts are more stable. You don't have to do certain things. You don't have to meet certain criteria. And that the injury is obviously going to be less than football or any other contact sport. Maybe not like basketball, but basketball, the money's probably not the same. So if your son had the talent in both sports, wouldn't you push him more towards baseball? Or am I crazy?
My son's a lefty pitcher. He plays baseball and basketball. He was able to get on his school teams multiple times without even trying.
Wow.
God bless. Just natural ability. And unfortunately, with the natural ability comes no drive with him. He didn't have the drive to go practice and go to different teams. And man, he got on there and he would play like a beast, but he didn't really, have the drive. So I wanted him to be a baseball player. My daughter is an amazing softball player. I wanted her to play softball. So I guess it's like it's in the blood. Baseball was my thing and basketball was secondary. He has the same thing and my daughter the same thing too. It's in our blood. So unfortunately, it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Like, of course, I think every father wants to see their kid be in the NBA or MLB. If you couldn't do it, you wish that for your kids. My wife said I was kind of hard on them, and that's why why they lost interest. So I think baseball would have been the move for sure.
Yeah, because I know like the average NBA salary is like 11 million a year, almost 12, and like baseball is probably like 5. But I feel like there's so many clauses with those things with basketball and football. It's like injury clauses, this clause. I think baseball, it's like you can miss the whole season and still get paid. I think in baseball, I think the contracts are way more safer. That's why I'm saying if I had a son, I have 2 girls. If I had a son and he was good at baseball, from a financial perspective, like, look, this is the safest way to go. You have this talent. If you're going to play professional, if you're that good, like your son is that good, I would kind of steer him the way. Obviously, he's going to choose his own path, so I get it. But I just feel like because of the way baseball is structured, like I feel like it's just a safer approach. Like, football, one injury, you're not getting paid. Basketball, you only get money if you play a certain amount of games. Or if this happens, or that happens. Like, there's still loopholes. You're not going to get hurt in basketball, at least not as frequently as football. But baseball feels like it's hard to lose that money.
And in actuality, Ray and Walt, I think he's a senior. He's going to graduate this year. I would have pushed him to go play basketball because of NIL money. Now you could get your education, you could get your NIL money, you could ride the bench, and I would have take that route. And I told him, if unfortunately we didn't really know about NIL money. He's graduating this year. It's too late. So I think honestly, I would have pushed him that way.
I hear you, bro. Good point. All right. Let me get to some comments before we switch topics. We have Timmy Gonzalez. What's up, sir? First week of March Madness. I don't know. My brackets are terrible, dude. You don't want me to go there. Don't go there. Eric Colon is here. Even if your player walked, there would have been first and the third with 2 outs. You can't say Deer automatically wins that game. Balls to strikes are part of the game. The U.S. Chester's first World Championship had a lot of Dominicans on the team, and they openly cheated. This is proven by MLB investigations. Yet the record books recognize them as champs. It was deliberate. I agree to an extent, but you're saying to me that Fernando Tatis, he was up next. You're guaranteeing me he's going to strike out? I mean, he's not Mr. Clutch, but he's definitely not a guaranteed lock strikeout. So I agree to some extent, Eric, but you guys can piggyback off this. I'm not guaranteeing Mr. Tatis is striking out or putting out. I like to at least get a shot.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
You agree, D? Okay.
I do. I mean, listen, I think they had the momentum in that inning. I mean, that's just me, I mean,
Amanda was going in their favor. And I think,
exactly.
like I said, and Tatis was chopping at the bit to get that.
Oh, yeah.
Bat. He was waiting. He was like, come on, dude, let's go. All right. We're switching to the sport that we all love, college basketball. We're in the Sweet 16. We're where the cream rises to the top. We have a lot of schools up there: Duke, Arizona, Houston, Michigan. Key matchups are obviously Purdue against Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, Houston, Illinois, Michigan State, and UConn. Who are your 3 teams right now that you could see doing something in this? I'm going to let Don go first because he's wearing that St. John's hat. And I know he's excited. I know he's ready to talk. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, dude. It's all you. What you got?
So I'm biased to St. John's. I think we could beat Duke.
Okay.
I love Arizona. I think Arizona's a sleeper. I love them. I love Bradley, the point guard, and I love UConn. UConn. How do you not like UConn? I would love to see UConn and St. John's, in a game. Like, I think that'll be excellent for the sport and for but it's exciting, man. I have to say that this has got to be, I know you guys have said this before, and this has got to be the most exciting class, coming into the NBA. This is so much talent. And I mean, you could go through every one of the 16 teams and probably get 2 to 3 drafts, NBA drafts in there. So I'm excited for St. John's. I love Patino. I love Ejiofor. I think Ejiofor and Boozer are going to be amazing. Well, look out for that game Friday, man. I have to work, but I am recording it, and I'll get home at midnight, and I'm watching that bad boy. I'm telling you that right now.
All right.
Yeah, I like Arizona and UConn, and I love St. John's.
Okay.
Right.
I respect those. Good picks. All right, Walt.
So there's lots of good teams. I do not think that a number one seed may win the title, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. I do like the Iowa State Cyclones. I know they lost their top guy to an injury, but he may come back depending on how severe that was. I do like them. They're good. I like Arizona a lot as a number one seed. I think Duke is going to get punched in the mouth by St. John's, so I don't think they're going to get past them. And my third team, I think I have to, if I'm going to go with a lower seed, and I'm not, I'm not trying to, blow smoke up at anybody's rear here, but I like the way St. John's plays. I like their hustle. They play hard. I think as a sleeper, if I had 2 locks And one sleeper, St. John's will be my sleeper.
Okay. All right. I hate piggybacking off Don Q, but I have to because God's punishing me right now. I hold on a second. Okay. I have to go. I have to say St. John's because they're nasty. They have some players. These guys play like a team. They got a lot of heart. They've got a lot of fire in the belly. I love Patino. So because of him, because of my loyalty to him, because he's a Kentucky guy, I have to say St. John's. No one is saying anything about Houston. Houston's got some fire. Houston's got a lot of heart. They have size. So I think Houston's the team that people are sleeping on. I would have said Walt. I would have said Purdue. If that guy's not back, I think it's a wrap. If he's back, then yes, I have to go with them as well. That's another team. Teams I feel like are going to let me down. I hate to say it. Duke is one of those teams. I think they get to the dance, and then like Cinderella, the pumpkin turns into a frog, or whatever the case may be, and they fall apart. Good team in the season. Good team in the beginning of the playoffs, but when the chips are down, I have no faith, and I just don't see it. So if you're putting me to the fire, I'm saying St. John's, Houston, and Iowa. Those are my three right now. I feel like those are the three. And to Don's point, there's not a bad pick in the NBA draft this year. You could have picks 1 to 25. You're good. Those guys are going to be. This is a sick draft. So you don't need to lose now in the NBA. You're going to get a good player regardless. I think you're set. Let's hear some comments. Timmy Gonzalez, sorry, man, it's all about the Blue Devils. Tim, I hate to see you cry next week, but
I hope I'm not here next week. I hope they win, man. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
I can imagine.
St. John's can beat Duke, but they have to make their shots. The perimeter shooters need to happen. I agree. Duke is a nasty team,
for sure.
But, Oh, Majestic Maria, what's up? It's my sister in crime. Thank you for watching. She doesn't have a team, so I'm surprised. And Maurice is in the house.
All right.
Houston, Duke, and Michigan. I slept on Michigan too. Michigan's a nasty team too. I can't say bad about them either. It's gonna be a great series. This has probably been one of the better tournaments they've had in a while. What do you attribute to this? Is it the competition being it's skewed differently now? Is because talent's not all skewed to one, Pac-10 or Big East now? Like all these good players are kind of going all over the place. I'll start with Walt. What's contributed to this massive competitive tournament this year?
You said it. I think other teams are getting better. Like teams are having to spread the wealth, and guys are going to places that they can shine and start at. And these other teams are, these smaller market teams are getting good players to come to them, right? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of. That's why we see a lot of parity. We saw who just beat Iowa Hawkeyes. They just beat the defending champs over the weekend. They beat the Florida Gators, right? The number one seed, and it was a close game.
It was a high point or something, right?
Yeah, it was a close game. And so I think that anybody, these guys are in the Sweet 16 for a reason. They on a good day, any one of these teams can beat the other team. So I think it's definitely to what you said.
All right, Don, what's your thoughts on this?
Okay, I'm gonna call this probably the most talent we've ever seen in the history of college basketball right now.
Wow.
Why? NIL money. Keeping guys in school, right? You're keeping guys in school longer. Even if you jump around, you got a taste of it, and you went to a bigger market, a bigger team. So I think that this is what it's going to be from now on, guys. Like, with this NIL and this competition level, I think we're gonna continue to see this. Guys are gonna be taking care of their bodies, losing weight, conditioning. The conditioning is going to be top notch for all across the board. This is an exciting time. There is nobody's talking about international players this draft.
Yeah, they're not
in-house, guys. This is a great time. Like before, it was all international players. Oh, there's one or two guys. I mean, this is exciting. I mean, in the tanking NBA that we have right now, I'm loving NCAA basketball right now.
All right, one more question before we switch topics. Is it more because if you're a star, you don't have to go to Duke or St. John's anymore? You could get shine on another team. Like, look at Hofstra. They actually made the tournament. You could go to Hofstra, be a star in Hofstra, be the king, get the shine you want in the NCAA tournament, show them what you got, and obviously go pro. Is that what's changed? Because, as you know, several years ago, it was like, if I don't play for St. John's or Duke or Michigan, I'm not going to get shine. I'm not going to get seen. I'm going to end up just squandering. If I go to a small school like a Hofstra, I wish I consider a small school, but a school like a Hofstra, I'm just going to drown. I'll let Don kick this off.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. You know, you're able to spread out the talent better. You know, the tournament is more exciting this way. Like you said, small markets. It's no longer, you know, Duke, you know, all the same guys all the time. Michigan, UConn. You know, we got teams coming from all over the place. It's an exciting time, man. I think keep it this way. Pay these guys. Thousands of years, colleges have been making money off of the backs of these guys, and now they finally get to reap the benefits of income, you know, from schools and get an education. I love this, man. I think this was a long time coming, and as you can see, look what it's doing for this sport.
Preach, brother. Walt, I'll let you end this.
Look, mic drop on that. I don't have anything else to add. Don just killed it with what he just said. I think, you know, he hit again with the NIL money. Guys are going to stay in the league longer, in the NCAA longer, and get that money for their families. You know, I think the top player right now is making $4 million, you know, this season. So why not?
Yeah, I borrow $1. All right, we're switching to the pigskin, and we're talking about Trent Williams of the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco Niners did not exercise his $10 million option. The star tackle contract was due Friday afternoon, sources say. The cap number will grow to $47 million, but the Niners are not overly concerned about it, and they're willing to let him go. My thoughts are, and I'll let Walt start this off, what are the Niners doing? I mean, Trent Williams is an all-pro. Are you really letting, in a market where, you know, his position is rare to get someone with his talent, you let him go? It's not like a place kicker or a punter. You know, he's a juggernaut. He's an all-pro. Like, why would you roll the dice and not even tag him and let's see what happens type of thing? Like, what is their rationale, and what do you think of this? Walt? Oh, he's frozen. All right, Don, you can kick it off.
I mean, listen, man. He had a $10 million option bonus coming up on March 20th.
Yeah, like I think that, you know,
Trent,
he
hears me now.
You have to remember that he's yeah, you know, I think my Wi-Fi keeps going in and out, so I'm sorry about that, fellas. Like, Trent Williams is 37 years old right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that has to do a lot with it. The San Francisco 49ers are like, you know, he's had a couple of injuries later in in the latter part of his career. He's 37. How much longer can this guy last? And we're not willing to pay a 37-year-old that kind of money. So I think, why not let him go? Somebody else may pick him up and put him on their line, but Trent Williams is 37, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Don, I'm sorry. You had a point, and what were you saying about it? The $10 million option?
Yeah, he had a $10 million bonus coming to him March 20th, and it was going to be a cap hit. I think that was really, they love the guy. He is older, you know, but listen, man, the 49er fans love him too. So I think he may end up even staying on the team if they restructure. You know, I think right now he has no guaranteed money coming to him. That's horrible, man, that he misses that $10 million option. But I think he's got stuff in the tank. You know, really? I think, you know, on a 2-year maybe, you know, get him on a team. I don't know. I hope he go. I don't know. I think he'd go back to the 49ers. They restructure him. Does he want to do that, or does he want to test the market? You know, I think his best bet is to stay with the 49ers, suck up the $10 million bonus. You're already a millionaire, and stay with them. You know, if you can.
Oh, Don is on my side. See, well, back to normal. 2 against 1. I was getting noise like this isn't fair. Yeah, Trent Williams is a star. I mean, he's 37, so I give you that. And 37 in football years is like 74. So I get it. But he's an all-pro. He plays with a lot of heart. He doesn't get hurt. I believe he played most of his games last year, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, why not, show some loyalty to Trent? Like, I think someone will pick him up. I understand, Don, your point about the $10 million. I get it. It hurts your cap. And football is a big cap-heavy driven sport where if you over your cap, you're screwed. So I get it. I understand the math. However, you mean to tell me you don't think somebody could use someone like him on their team? There's not a team out there can use a defensive guy like Trent Williams. I just feel like you're really treading very, 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 very rough waters right now, because it's not like somebody like him is a dime a dozen. I give you the age factor, Walt. I give it to you 100%. We're here. But just remember, like I said, are you willing to roll the dice and let him go to a competitor in your league? Have him go to Seattle. Have him go to any other team that could use him. So, you know what I mean? I feel that's the problem. Do you not see my point? Or are you still riding your shield?
No, I definitely see your point. Trent Williams is very serviceable. He's been one of the top linemen consistently, for during his entire career. So absolutely losing him is probably going to hurt the Niners more so than, keeping him. I think that, that $10 million bonus, maybe they can work something else out. And if he wants to stay there, or does he go to a different team like the Rams, if he wants to stay on the West Coast or something like that, help those guys out. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Don, I'll let you end this.
Jets. Jets.
God. Oh,
come, we accept you with open arms, Mr. Williams. Come. Even if you just talk to the guys in the locker room for 2 years and build them and teach us. We need all the help we could get. Come on, man. You want $10 million? We'll give you $12 million bonus if you want.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Eric brings up a good point. He started 203 of 204 games played. Dude, he's an iron horse. I think they may regret it. If he goes to the Jets, that's going to be another regret, but that's another story. That's another big story. All right, we're switching to UFC now because this is a big story and people are talking about it. Jon Jones has publicly demanded his release after negotiations for a return expected against Alex Pereira fell through. He was quote-unquote lowballed by Dana White for this big White House card that's coming up. Now it's Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane. He was upset. The money didn't come out right. Jones is saying that he may go to another division. I know one of the Paul brothers is starting a MMA division. My question to you, and I'll let Don start this one off. Do you see Jon Jones fighting again? Do you think Dana White dropped the ball and not pay him what he should have? Because the White House need a big draw. And no offense to Alex Pereira or Cyril Gane, they're not Jon Jones. So a two-part question. Do you see him fighting again? Do you think Dana White dropped the ball? And do you think the UFC card in the White House is going to be serviceable without a big name like a Jon Jones?
Dana dropped the ball for sure.
Okay.
You need Jon Jones in a spot like that because you need a big name. This is kind of a joke. I mean, really, like you're gonna do this fight without him? I mean, what did he want? Like 15 mil? I mean, come on, man. This guy, Jon Jones, he's a legend. I want to watch him fight. I would love to see the White House fight with him in it. I have no other drive to see this fight if he's not there. I'm sorry. It would have been awesome. It would have been a great story. But Dana White, I don't know what the motivation is. There must be some kind of like headbutting or something. I don't know. But Dana Jones even said he was never in the fight in the running. Like, come on, man, really? Like
crazy. Do you see him fighting in that Logan Paul MMA division? You 100%. See him? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you got?
Look, I guess I'm agreeing with Don here on this one because I think that definitely that White House fight is gonna bring in bank, and John wanted his piece of the pie. And if he was just asking for $15 million, like that's a little piece of that pie that's gonna be baked, when that fight happens. And so I don't, look, I would rather have seen Jon Jones versus anybody else, right? They could have put anybody else in there. Of course, someone good, but everybody knows the name John Bones Jones, right? He's a legend. I think his last fight was in 2024, so people are starving for him to fight too, right? He hasn't fought since November of 2024, right? So I think that Dana White definitely lowballed him. He's going to go to the Paul brothers and join that ship over there and get his money.
Yeah. All right. My thoughts are: I think Dana White dropped the ball. I agree. Why didn't he pay him the money? He's a draw. You can never watch UFC in your life. You know who John Jones is. Yeah. Like, it's like if you could tell me I hate soccer, you know who Messi is. You know who Ronaldo is. You know who John Jones is. I don't understand this. He walked through Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title. He beat him like it was nothing. And now Cyril Gane is fighting Alex Pereira. I thought that Pereira was going to fight John Jones. I thought Dana White was going to pay him his $15 million. I have no idea why. It sounds like it's personal. But at the end of the day, it's like if I'm trying to build this big White House card and I'm trying to draw a big UFC crowd, I want to sell this on pay-per-view for $80. No offense again to Pereira or Cyril Gane, but no one is going to pay $80 to see these guys. You want John Jones. So I'll let Don finish this. Do you think Dana White may come back and say, maybe I screwed up and pay him? Or do you think the KRS One, the bridge is over?
I think it's more of you're proving a point now. Dana's not going to go back. He's going to leave it like this. The damage has been done. This is a typical, what happens to people when they get older, or these stars, and these people think that they don't have the same luster as they did, but they're wrong. And they're also Dana's trying to put him out to pasture. Like, yeah, I could do this without you. I don't need you to do this. So you need me. So this is what it's now become. He's a legend. I'm see, you see this to athletes as they get to the tail end and they start, I hate this part of it, but I honestly think that he'll be fine. John Jones will fight. This will be a success. The White House fight is a White House fight, whatever it is. But, I'm on John Jones' side, man. I think he deserved it. Give the guy his flowers. He put UFC on the map pretty much. So give him his flowers, man. Let him fight.
I'm going to applaud that. Walt, what you got, brother?
No, I absolutely agree with that. John Jones, deserves his respect. He, was one of the big cards that gave UFC a lot of money too, right? And I think it's, John Jones, deserve a lot more respect from Dana White. And so if Dana White is just trying to make this personal and just jab at him just because he's Dana White, that's jacked up,
Preach. All right, we're switching to the sport we all love. This is hoop. And we're talking about Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, for you to know, is the star of Detroit Pistons. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with a collapsed lung following a game against the Washington Wizards in March 17th of 2026. The injury is considered a mild collapsed lung timeline. The team announced on March 19th that Cunningham will sidelined for at least 2 weeks and be really evaluated after that. He's expected to miss an extended period of time, but there's optimism he could return for the playoffs, which starts in April of 2026. The Pistons are adjusting their offense. JB Bickerstaff is indicating they will lean more towards heavily all-star center Jalen Duren during Cunningham's absence. My question to you guys is, now that he's hurt, you don't know when he's coming back or if he's coming back, because I think it's a bold statement to say he's definitely going to come back 100% in the playoffs. You're not promising. Is Detroit's standings in the playoff now jeopardized? I'll start this off. I think right now, because Boston's at full strength, I think this is Boston's for the pickings now. If Cade does not come back 100% and he tries to rush it, because I'm not a doctor, but you cannot tell me a collapsed lung is going to heal like that. He doesn't come back 100%. With Tatum on Boston now and Jaylen Brown, I think Boston could take the East right now. I think this is a tough loss for Detroit. I really thought this was their year to win the East. the Knicks could actually pull this off as well, because I know John is waiting, but what about my Knicks? What about my Knicks? The Knicks could pull it off as well. So this opens the floodgates. So I will let Walt start this off. What do you think of this injury? And is this the end, or is this like a pause for Detroit?
I think it's definitely not the end. Maybe this year their chances on winning the chip is definitely hindered. I think that Cade Cunningham needs to take care of himself and make sure that he's 100% healthy, because it's, a collapsed lung is something serious. I think if I may be wrong, America, but fact check me here. I think Chris Bosh had a collapsed lung, and it kept bothering him. Throughout his that season that he had it, and I think it may have led him to retire or impacted him. So definitely Cade Cunningham. If you're not 100%, don't risk it, because if you can't compete at 100%, don't try to come back. Just relax, get healthy, and try again next year, because like you said, you have the Celtics and you have the Knicks, right? And I honestly think that the Knicks are going to come out of the East, honestly, this year.
You're making him smile.
Yeah, so I think that Detroit was going to compete, but I think it's going to be either the Celtics or more than likely the Knicks to come out of the East.
All right, DQ, what you got, my friend?
Got a picture of Nate Robinson here, looking over Spud Webb.
Oh,
I got a nice picture of David Lee and Danilo Gallinari here. You see that?
Oh my
Knicks
goodness.
legends, So yeah, I'm gonna agree with Walt. I mean,
oh God, what a shock!
You put two. I think I agree with Boston, but I love my Knicks, and I'm gonna think that my Knicks could catch up to maybe get second place. The collapsed lung is a no joke. So the problem here also is that now he's not eligible for the MVP if he doesn't come back, because you have to play 65 games in order to be eligible for awards. So that's going to hurt that. Also, they traded away their guy, Jaden Ivey. You know what? Jaden Ivey would have came in at an opportune time right now if he was still on that team. But yeah, Cade Cunningham makes that wheel turn, man. I mean, if he's not on your team, the floodgates have opened for the East now, in my opinion. The Knicks had a pretty easy schedule. We got the Pelicans coming up, so I think it's our time to sort of to move up. But yeah, Pistons are hurt, man. They're winning, but they have a lot to prove. The microscope is on them more than anyone, more than Boston, more than Knicks, because of what happened to them last year in the first round and what happened to them the year prior, where they just, they did really bad. So.
All right. My other question to you guys is this. I don't want to see, I know Walt brought this up, I don't want to see him rush back. I don't want him to look at Jason Tatum and say, well, he came back. They're two separate injuries, dude. A collapsed lung is nothing to play around with, to piggyback off Walt. Be really careful, dude. I wish you nothing but the best. I think you're a great player. I think you're a good guy from what I've heard. I heard he's good with the fans. He signs the autographs. I heard he's nothing but good stuff about him. So to your point, I don't want Detroit to push this guy to come back in the playoffs. He's not 100%, because this isn't a sprained ankle that, you can fight through the pain. This isn't a broken finger or a broken ligament on your hand where you could kind of fight through it, maybe take a cortisone shot and just muddle through. Lungs are nothing to play with, especially in a sport that requires you to go up and down a court.
Mm-hmm.
So, Don Q, I mean, do you see them doing something silly like this, or are they going to be smart and really cautious about this?
You got to think about the big picture. You got to leave him out. You already have a lead in the East. You're comfortable. Even if you lost every single game, you're going to make the play. I think you got to look at the big picture. Attaining first place is not your goal. A championship is your goal, and getting past the first round is your goal. Mm-hmm. Now, if you jeopardize this for an MVP to get a guy back, and you recollapse the lung, you're done for the postseason, and you just ruined your whole team's chances. Cade Cunningham is the reason why they're in first place.
Yeah.
All right, Walt, what you got?
No, he's absolutely right. I think, again, I think that it's not worth the risk here. Like this is your your guy. He's the one who you built the core around of this team. Yeah, Duran is good, and he averages like around a double, but he's not Cade Cunningham. So if you want to give him the rest of I think there's like maybe a dozen games left in the regular season. You can give him the rest of the games off. They may still end up being a top 3 or top 4 seed, even with that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that play smart and just wait and see what happens with Cade.
Preach, man. All right, let's get some comments. Chris Patton, my guy, host of the Patton Report, Bachman's Basement. What's up, sir? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Eric Colon is on your side. I don't know why. That's awful. Mr. Maurice, I pray for Cade. I want to see Detroit versus the Knicks. Crazy blue and orange skies, baby. Yeah, we shall say. He still thinks the Pistons are coming out of the East. Knick fans. Okay. We'll see, dude. We'll see. Oh, Tom Clark, my guy. In 25, Chris Bosh experienced chest pains, was dying less with in the middle of a blood clot that moved from his lung. He was hospitalized and doctors had to do
that was
from
a
his
blood
lung.
clot.
Okay, it's a blood clot. It's a little different. And Tim goes, make Cade come back next season if he's healthy. Don't risk it. I agree with you 100%. You can't risk that. It's too much. All right, we're sticking to hoop. And we're talking about Pierre Rondo Jr. Yes, the son of Rajon Rondo, I should say. The 13-year-old son of former NBA star Rajon Rondo is making headlines for a standout performance in this Kentucky high school state tournament, playing in North. The 8th grader scored 25, 7 assists against older opponents that were 18, 19 years old. This kid is playing insane basketball for a 13-year-old. I've never seen anything like this kid. I'm very impressed. He's way better than his dad, who for some reason these guys think Rajon Rondo's a Hall of Famer. I think that's crazy, but that's another story. My question to you guys, do you think this guy, should get pushed out of high school? Like, I don't know if that's still a thing though, so forgive me if I'm crazy. Can they push this guy out of high school and go straight to the NBA like they did Garnett and Kobe? Does this guy still have to put a year in college and then maybe opt out? What's next for Mr. Rondo?
Who you want to go?
Yeah.
I mean, I could go.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You have to be at least 19 to come out of to go into the NBA. I think that's the rule. So is this kid ready? I mean, I watched the game. I watched that on YouTube, the highlights. He's incredible, man. You think this kid is 13? You look at him. He does not look 13 the way he plays. He's got this IQ like his dad. He's just savvy. It's impressive, man. I mean, he's a God gift natural talent. He has his father's pedigree. I know you don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he is.
No one thinks it's just you and Walt think that. You're touring on an island like Tom Hanks by yourselves.
I think we take him to St. John's. Pierre, you want to come to St. John's, man? We'll take you with open arms. And you can start with Patino, great coach. And I think he's in middle school. Get this kid out of school, man. I'm sorry. Take him out of school, put him in college, put him in high school, whatever you got to do. Skip a few grades. And get him to where he needs to be. He's a God gift talent. You want to see him in the NBA eventually. All
right. Well, what you got?
No, I think he's definitely from the highlights that we saw. He's definitely balling out. I definitely want to see more of the kids that he was playing against because what was their level of talent, right? If they're good players, then yes, all the more like. Let's start to recruit this guy right now if we're colleges. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be in the class of 2030 by the time he's eligible to go to college or go to the NBA. I think that right now he's looking great. I think we just still need to wait and see, and see what really becomes of him. See what he grows into. He's probably going to grow a little bit more, get a little bit taller. Of course, he's only 13 years old. So, but right now he's killing it. He's assisting, scoring, playing defense. His IQ. Rajon Rondo is his father, and he was a defensive mastermind. So like he's probably his dad's probably in his ear and had a high IQ. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. You know, no matter where he goes to school at, or if he goes straight into the NBA, I'm excited to see Rondo Jr. Play the game.
Okay. But so you have to play 1 year of college. That's the rule now. You cannot come straight out of high school.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I see his handles. I see his defense. He's got the size. I'm with Don. You know, I would try to rush this kid as fast as I can. Let him get his 1 year of eligibility in college and, yeah, get this kid out because he's that good. He's really good. I watched it. I grant what you're saying, Walt, because, you know, he's playing 18-year-olds and they're just high school players. But still, that's a 5-year age gap. For him to dominate, I can't imagine when I was 13 crushing 18-year-old high school players. Like that, to me, says a lot. And these guys are in a tournament, so they have to be obviously upper echelon talent. So I don't know, dude. It's interesting, you know, to see someone that talented, you know, and he's probably going to grow. Like you said, what's his height right now? What's he?
5'11".
5'11". So, dude, this kid's still got some growth there. He's 13, so he's going to get bigger, dude. Chris brings up a valid point. 1 year requirement for college. Hope he doesn't burn himself like Zion or eat himself, right? Eric says, I'm encouraging dropping out of middle school.
Sir, go get that NIL money. You're not going to make that money in middle school, man.
That's hysterical. All right. Tim says, let our Lakers draft. Yes, I agree with you.
Another Laker fan on here.
Cooper, Flag, and yes. You know what? That gets an applause too. Wait. All right, our last topic, and I know that that Walt is the math guy. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. What is 5 plus 4?
9.
And what is 10 minus 1?
9.
That's right. Speaking of 9, the Lakers have won 9 in a row. Let's talk about it. Who's this guy? I know he is. He's the GOAT. That's right. The Lakers have won 9 in a row. They're on fire. Luka had his BS technical taken away. They're playing Detroit tonight, looking to make it 10 in a row. They have changed their whole complexity of their team. JJ Redick should be coach of the year. LeBron is finally doing what he's supposed to do and being the third wheel, getting the back seat. Let Luka drive. Austin Reeves running shotgun. And LeBron can sit in the back and just enjoy the ride. I am very happy. Let's talk about it. Well, I see you smoking right now. What do you contribute to this 9 in a row? Do you think JJ Redick should seriously be considered for coach of the year? And do you think that Luka's technical being rescinded was honestly? Because I'll say this first before I let you answer. You can talk about my game when we're playing one-on-one. Hey, Ray, you stink. Hey, your shot's terrible. You this, that, and the other thing. The minute you start getting personal about my family, that's when I think we have a problem. And that's what Luka did. He defended his family. You talk about his family. Don, you're a family guy. You have 2 kids. I know someone talked about your family. You're not letting that slide. So please stop it. I know you for 20 years. There's no way you're saying, oh, that's funny. Ha, ha, ha. No. Well, I know you got a girl. No one's talking about your family, and you're brushing it off. So I will let you talk now. I got off my soapbox. Go ahead.
I think that the technical being rescinded, I'm just like, look, guys talk trash in the NBA. Like they get personal in the NBA. They say all manner of like stuff to you, you know, in the NBA. So I like for Doncic defending or whatever, for him to get that rescinded, like it doesn't, you know. I think they wanted to keep that win streak going. You know, like 60 points isn't 83 points. So you know what I'm saying. So like, I understand why the NBA did it. Does it really change anything? The Lakers still could have, you know, won that game if he was suspended, right? So I think they're trying to preserve their streak. Everybody wants to see the Lakers in the playoffs. You know, they're one of those storied teams of the NBA. So I think that the Lakers, you know, they finally found their footing. They've got, I think LeBron has accepted being the third guy behind Austin and Luka. So I think that the Lakers have finally kind of found their mojo. Absolutely, Redick should be in the running for Coach of the Year, especially well the Lakers are now. That I think they're the 3rd seed in the West. So
Let me applaud that first. Hold on. Thank you for speaking truth. I like that. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh! So you know, and I think that if Doncic was to be out and the Lakers lost that streak, I think they would have just gone on another streak anyway when he came back. I think he's the leading scorer. If I'm wrong,
He's leading the league in scoring.
In scoring, so I think that
Let's applaud that too.
This guy's so biased, man. Ray, you're so biased. So, look, I think that absolutely, the Lakers are exciting to watch. They're in their groove. They're going to make some noise in the playoffs, I believe so. But we'll see. We'll see where the chips fall at the end of it.
All right, Don. I know this is hard for you to admit the truths, but please breathe in, breathe out. Woo-saw, my brother. Woo-saw. Let's go.
Like Walt says, that was horrible for them to rescind that technical because now they're just looking to get more games in a row. Now, a depleted Pistons team. Now, I don't agree with Luka should have 50 technical fouls. This guy is a walking technical.
Yep.
He complains about every single little thing. It's so annoying, Ray. I know you love the team, but Ray, come on. This guy just complains about every little thing. Can't even look at the guy. It's a foul. I thought Kobe was bad. Like, man.
Oh my God.
May God rest his soul. But listen, man, Coach of the Year? Nah, no way.
Wow.
Number 4. First,
wow.
You gotta give JB Bickerstaff. How about the Spurs? Mitch Johnson. How about come on? I don't like the Celtics, but Joe Mazzulla.
So you don't think he's any shot for get Coach of the Year?
Nah, no way.
You know what I say to that? That's what I say to that.
With no Tatum, Joe Mazzulla's doing all kinds second place. Come on, who would have thought?
You have Jaylen Brown. You got this boy. Oh, come on. So let me ask you this. We had this. I said this before, but I'm gonna ask you a question, Don. We're playing ball and we're talking smack. I get personal and talk about your daughter or your son. You're not getting mad. You're not cursing me out. Come on, dude. Stop.
I am, and it's well deserving of a technical. Like Kevin Garnett and Melo. Remember that?
So he should get a technical for defending his family and defending his family's honor.
Remember, it diffused the situation. That's what technicals are for. Diffuse the situation, keep it moving, and take the penalty like a man.
So we both get technicals. I get the technical for calling something about your family. Yes. You get the technical for telling me to blank off. That's okay. Walt, you agree with this?
Absolutely. It happens all the time. Guys, this is sports. Guys are going to talk trash. They're going to talk trash about your mama, your kids. They're going to say all type of stuff to get in your head because they know that if they can get you off your mental game, they're going to throw you off for the night, right? Or they're going to light a fire under you and you're going to kill them.
So nothing's off limits.
Look, but besides saying you're going to kill somebody,
you can say anything personal about. Let's say a family member of yours just passed away, and I talk ish about them. That's okay. That's what I'm saying. I think he crossed the line when he talked about his family.
Do you know what he said?
Because he has a newborn girl. Like, come on, dude. Like, I think.
So he probably said, "You sure that's your kid?"
Yeah, something like that's rude, dude. No,
it's not.
It's classless. He Luka defended his honor, his daughter's honor, did the right thing. He's a family man. I know you, Walt. I know someone talked ish about your family. You would not be like, "Oh, thank you very much. Can I have another?" Stop. I wouldn't.
But Ray, that's not the argument though. It's not that should Doncic have not defended his family. It should have the tech been rescinded. And that is what we're saying. That's what Dom and I are saying. No, it should not have.
Oh,
you're right.
Goodness.
You're right. He should have defended his family. But
let me ask you a question, Ray.
Go ahead.
Would that tech have been rescinded if they were on a losing streak?
Ooh. Applause there.
I will applaud. I will applaud that question. Probably not. Yep. I'm going to be fair. Yep. I'm going to be fair. Probably not. But you know what? It was a streak, so no. All right.
You gotta take it.
I'm happy. I'll take it. We're at the final buzzer. This is where you can ask us anything about anything. You can talk about movies, sports, anything. This is where you ask us anything and anything. Erica says, Ozipa Lukic can make any coach look like coach of the year. JJ Redick. He also cost other jobs. Jason Kidd with the ear. No, Jason Kidd got himself in trouble. I think he opened his mouth too much and said too many things publicly to the media.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree or no?
Yeah.
Jason Kidd, for sure.
All right. Chris says, I'm sorry. Bickerstaff, not coach of the year. I mean, that's who I got.
He's up there.
He's up there.
Up there, for sure.
He's up there. I definitely like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Timmy says, what was the biggest surprise in the first round tournament? High Point beating Wisconsin or VUC beating UNC? I'll start this easily. I'm going to say High Point. Shout out to my good friend Steve Bowler. His daughter goes to High Point. Huge upset. I think that's stronger. I didn't even know who anybody on High Point was. So I will go with that one. Who do you got, Don? What was the big upset in your opinion?
Agree. They're number 12 seed. I mean, against a 5 seed by 1 point, it was an amazing game. I definitely, it was shocking. It was shocking. Like you said, I had to look up the school and Google it, and yeah, for sure.
Preach, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bigger upset.
No, definitely High Point. Absolutely.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was a team. It sounds like a mountain resort or something like that.
I'm gonna plug that too.
Well, what's a bigger upset, Florida and Iowa?
Yeah. High Point. I didn't even know. Again, I'm with Walt. I had to look the school up. Who's the star in this team? I didn't know any of that, so it kind of blew me up. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for participating in the show. I want to thank everybody again for sharing, and subscribing. BoinkStudios.com. Don, I'll let you say your parting shots. I want to thank you, my brother, for showing up, being on the show again. You're always welcome, dude. You are hysterical. I love your energy. So please plug your brand, plug your podcast before I throw up and I see the St. John stuff.
Thanks for having me, Walt, and thanks for having me, Ray and Tom. I was here for the second episode, and to see you guys at number 25 is impressive, and I'm happy you guys are doing well. You put out great content. I'm happy to be a part of this show. www.djdonq.com, DJ Don QNY on Instagram. The Rods Balls podcast, we'll be doing an episode for playoffs with my son. And appreciate you guys having me, man. This is awesome.
Thank you. Please stay in the studio because I have to make sure everything's recorded. But thank you so much, dude. I will see you in a minute. Walt, another beast episode, dude. Yeah. The fire is there. I'm glad we're making history, dude. Who would have thought we've moved to 25 this quickly? I'm very happy. It's been amazing, dude. Go ahead, say your parting shots and stay in the studio.
America, thank you for your love, your support. Ray all day, Matt. I'm glad to be here, a part of this team. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. Do what you have to do. Get the word out and for people to tune into this amazing show. Love y'all.
Thank you, brother. All right, there you go, dude. Another episode of Great Sports and Slams in the books. Thanks again to both Walt and Don Q for helping me today. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. You guys, you know where to find us. BoinkStudios.com, Ray Sports and Slams. I will see you next week, 6 o'clock. Please don't forget.